Whitten Oval. Just have a quick look at the ins and outs. There are the teams, of course. The Bulldogs go into this game unchanged. The Sydney Swans, though, they've got a few ins, few outs. Hazurga, Morford, Vale and Shepherd coming in. And, of course, going out is Tarrant, Collier, Davies and Wellham. They are the ins and outs. No milestone games here today. But this game will be getting underway in a little over a minute. Of course, the Sydney Swans going into this game as hot favourites. As you can see, 123 the Swans, 405 are the Bulldogs. If we have a look at the AFLW ladder, we can see the Sydney Swans sitting in 10th position after playing 4 games, 2 wins, 2 losses. And of course, the Western Bulldogs, which is Footscray. Let me just try to find them. Here they are down there in 15, played 5 games, 1 win, 4 losses. They will be looking for a win tonight. That's something they really, really do need. So we will see how they go in tonight's game. Anyway, let me have a look and see if the worm's loaded up. It's loaded up. It's good to go. Let me just try and straighten this up a little bit for everybody. That's not too bad. All right, we're going to take you down to the ground for the bounce of the first quarter.
Of course, playing 3 games in 10 days. And as you can see behind me, there is a fairly strong Swans contingent here tonight. Of course, the Swans men's side playing in the AFL Grand Final tomorrow. The staff have all been bussed out here to Whitten Oval to support the women's side. They all flew down together, actually, yesterday. That was an initiative that Dane Rampy, the acting captain of the Swans men's team, was really strong on. So we're set for a massive game tonight. Bit of a party vibe down here, in fact, Jace.
Very much so. A bit of Friday night festivities, Nat. Fireworks pre-game set the atmosphere beautifully. And the Swans looking resplendent in those jumpers, wearing the red V for the first time, their women's team, the old school South Melbourne jumper. And we are set to go Friday night footy. It's the Western Bulldogs and the Sydney Swans at the Whitten Oval. And away we go, Ellie Morford, a welcome return. She's straight into the mix. It's going to be a great battle between her and Alice Edmonds. Kennedy put the head down, found the football, and Edmonds found her.
See already, Jace, both teams backing themselves at the stoppage.
Critical battle, isn't it? That inside battle. There's Edmonds again versus Morford. Might end up being the most important battle on the ground, Bree. Those 2 rucks are so influential.
Yeah, both great rucks here. All Australian ruck, and then Morford, a young ruck who's very versatile.
Tough footy we won there. Coming in over the top of Cynthia Hamilton. And Goodnacht. At the back to McAvoy. Playing game 50 tonight. Congratulations to Lucy McAvoy. Started her career, of course, at Carlton. 33 games for the Blues. Now skippering the Swans. Hurley goes inside. And here is Morford. Welcome back by the Swans faithful. Dangerous kick across the top, got over the top of Steen, but opens a door for Al Bennett. Steps inside, wants an option at half forward, kicks to 50. Swans get numbers back, it gets through the hands of Kennedy though. Ball kicked on by Woodley. Sydney got defensive numbers back. Punch to the middle of the ground, it might be coming straight back though. Well done by Gorham to Grant, she spreads it wide. Berry gathers 60 from goal, looks up, wants a target in the pocket. Good defensive work there from O'Sullivan. Got to the front, won the football. Almost bumped off her kick by Bennett. Effected the kick. Ball comes back inside. And Goodnacht, who's got the customised jumper, can go back and kick for the opening score of the game.
Just really composed work there by Deanna Berry and that offensive sort of work rate to get to that first kick out wide on the top of the 50 and then to use the ball well going inside 50 there.
Goodnacht playing game 28 tonight. Kicked 5 goals, 2 in her AFLW career. This a chance for her to kick her first of the season and be the perfect start for the Dogs, who are coming off a win and wanting to ride that wave of confidence. And Britt to the post. Jumper flapping in the breeze. A good start for the Dogs. They've controlled territory. Swans will now look to work it from their back half. Through their accumulated Gardner. Goes to Privatelli. That's an important grab. She's out number 3-1.
Yeah, Privatelli, not only her marking and her hands ability, but also the way she kicks the ball, unbelievable.
Down the line, it's going to get cut off. Lauren Ahrens is such an important player in this team. Her experience at 33 years of age, a real leader. It's been a critical inclusion into this lineup. Here's Georgia Stathis. 49th game for Lizzie tonight. She goes down the line. Edmonds is the target. Edmonds and Morford. It's kept alive. Berry tried to slap it on. Edmonds in there scrapping again against O'Sullivan. Greed comes thundering in. But the Swans will get out. Through Gardner. Dangerous kick again into the corridor. Put McAvoy under enormous pressure. Here's Greig. Throws a boot at it. Maybe had more time than she realised.
Geez, the doggies looking dangerous though early, as you mentioned, Jace. Holding territory at the moment, keeping it in their front half. I'm sure that the Swans right now feeling a little unsettled.
Some missing pieces there. Ali Blackburn and Noor Aloifi. Lizzie Snell there as well. The Dogs down on a few numbers, but getting the opportunity to blood some young pups, including the exciting Pritchard. It's off the boot of O'Sullivan and out, but this is exactly the start that Tam Hine to be looking for.
Yeah, exactly right. Again, early in the game, if you can keep it in your front half and put pressure on the opposition team, it's a massive win for your group.
Yes. For 2 wins in a row, rather. It's the 1 win for the season so far for the Dogs. The Swans tonight, if they can win, can jump back up into top 8 contention and stay in touch with the top 4. Given the season's almost half over, it goes so quickly. Every win's just so precious. Swans on the back foot early. Good work there from Kennedy. Shrugged the first tackle, but under pressure turns it over, and Riley Wilcox has a chance to go back and kick for her first of the season. Will take her best. So instead, she'll set it up. A couple of leading options coming out to meet it, including Hartwig. Taken off the contest by Pritchard. And maybe this time the Swans can exit. It's been hard work. Dogs have been set up behind the football. Maybe a chance here for Grundon. Tries to keep it in front of her. Kicks to space. Cutting across and working the angle is Ahrens. And now she receives. Wasn't expecting it. Little flip out. Georgia Stathis to Carruthers. Wilcox had to wait. And through Grant to Fitzgerald, and the Dogs fans can breathe.
Counter-attack, but then to bring it out with that composure, really good play by the Dogs.
Fitzgerald, who's suddenly become a young veteran for them at 22 years of age, one of the more experienced players in their team at 46 games, and he's Ali Morford already having an impact. The reigning All-Australian ruck. There's a fumble and a costly one potentially. Hartwig was sweating, and the ball got dropped on the ground. Umpire calls for a bounce. Edmonds. Gardner in there working again. Again, Alice takes the football, but she's taken down. Handball intercepted. Carruthers. Pritchard tries to get it from inside to outside. Great work busting through there by Whelan, who was the late in for Montana Ham. Grant nowhere to go, but got the hands free. Good tackle on Kimber. Good forward pressure there from Privatelli.
The pressure right now by these Dogs, again, they're keeping their team in it. Can they do it for 4 quarters is the question, but the pressure to start with has been great.
Edmonds. Off at a ground level, found the ball. Swooping in was Hurley. Whistle goes for a hold, Sydney's way. So 3 of the first 4 inside 50s going the way of the Dogs. Chance for Swans to build something here. Hurley will swing it wide. Patient build-up. Dogs have got numbers back, and there's Hurley getting it back. Good running, and then she plays on herself. Runs to 40 out. Sophia Hurley. Right towards the line. It's still there. Grundon throws a boot at it. Minus score. Swans are on the board. So Wonder behind a piece with 10 to play in the opening term of the Whitten Oval on Friday night footy. Healthy crowd in, plenty of Swans fans, you should imagine. The city buzzing today with red and white. Edmonds. It's a great shot of the Friday night crowd. Public holiday here in Victoria, perfect weather all day. Smothered off the boot of Wilcox. Taken by Hurley, looking dangerous early. Good body work from Privatelli. Can she finish? Oh, that's brilliant! Some brilliance from Beck. First the body work, then the finish. And the Swans get the opening goal.
She's absolute class, Jay. So I was watching her in the warm-up before the game and didn't miss. Any set shot she was taking didn't miss. So just shows what practice does for you.
Game 53 for Beck Privatelli. First the body work, then the finish. Beck Privatelli, who was taken with Carlton's last pick in the first ever draft, pick 142 in 2016. Of course, a teammate of Bree Davies in that first season at Carlton when she was a defender. It's a free kick for a high shot. It's going to Wheeler. It's been a bit of 3 or 4 minutes here from Sydney after the Dogs controlled territory early. The Swans have got back on top. Hausegger. Now McAvoy. Down the line, looking for heads. Pops a handball over the top. Hurley involved again, looking really dangerous. Not this time. Good work from Fitzgerald. Wins the ball back for the Dogs. To the wing, nicely weighted kick. Finds Gavalis.
Both teams right now, they're showing some real composure and patience, and I'm liking seeing this type of play. A little bit of...
Miles kicks to the wing. On the bust is Fitzgerald. Good kick. Gets over the back of the contest. Maybe a chance here for the Dogs. Weston Turner bends it across the face of goal. Woodley in there scrapping. Hartwig as well. On her left. Snaps goalward. And bounces it through. Goal apiece at the kennel. Friday night footy at the Whitten Oval. Great response from Hartwig. She bounces it through. Another one of those exciting athletic types that the Dogs have forward of the footy.
Yeah, unbelievable. And that bounce, how good was that?
Back in the middle of the ground. Kick towards the wing, taken down. Bennett's. It's a free kick, is it? It's going the way of the Swans. It's going to Berylson. The speedster bounces it to half forward. Out came Privatelli, made life difficult for her at her bootlaces. Grant was important. She was clean. Ball towards the boundary line. That's going to come back. So Lisa Steen will have it 60 from goal. Privatelli offers the lead. She interfered with play on the call. Grant. Pritchard had to be quick. And again, Berylson wrestles her to the deck as we head down to that.
Well, Jace, when the Sydney Swans kicked their goal, they definitely were louder, the fans than the Bulldogs fans. I can tell you that there's a plethora of Swans fans here. And I'll also tell you that the Swans tonight, for the first time in AFLW history, are wearing the iconic red V. That's paying homage to their South Melbourne roots. So the men wear it when they're in Victoria and playing in Victoria. This is the first time the AFLW Swans team is wearing it.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, doesn't it? Ball inside 50. Least momentarily for the Swans. Plenty of players piling on this, and we'll have another stoppage. Perfect conditions for Friday night football. Lay it down, is that ball grabbing at her knee? Now keep an eye on that. They may have to stop the game here. It's right near Georgia ball, and they will stop the game. Georgia's calling for help.
She is in a lot of pain. The doctor's just running out now to her as they hold up play.
Yeah, there's another look. She just landed really awkwardly on that left knee, Brie.
Never a good sign when they grab the knee like that either. Hopefully she's all right. But yeah, you never like to see a player go down and holding a knee like that.
25-year-old from Chirnside Park here in Melbourne, through the Eastern Ranges and Carlton VFLW. She was on Essendon's inaugural AFLW list in season 7, but injured her foot in a practice match and never got a chance to play a game for the Bombers. Had to go back to VFL and look for another opportunity, which she did. Won the best and fairest for the Western Bulldogs in the VFL last year and made the team of the year. Was a train-on player. Got an opportunity, so it's been such a long road for Georgia. We've just got to hope things are okay.
That's right. I actually have been able to watch the evolution of Georgia. I coached her at Carlton back when I was there in the VFL team, so I was a backline coach there for a bit. But yeah, it's good to see her out there. Again, hopefully she's okay. You don't like to see players go down like that.
As I mentioned, that foot came at a terrible time for her when she was on that Essendon list in a practice match and never got a chance to play an AFLW game for the Bombers, but just worked so hard to get herself a second opportunity. So our thoughts are with Georgia. She heads to the bench for assessment. We'll have more from that as news comes to hand. So the ball will be returned to the Dogs deep in their own defensive 50. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the opening term. Edmonds versus Morford. In fact, it was Hamilton. Gardner rather. Flipping in there was O'Sullivan. Got unhook-necked. Hamilton goes in the ruck again against Edmonds. Wilcox, was she taken high? She was. Umpire spotted it against Tanya Kennedy.
The seat doggies at the moment, it just looks like they have more numbers. Their wing almost is playing like an extra midfielder at the moment, getting quite tight into the stoppage.
So Riley Wilcox will launch to half forward. Edmonds tries to get there again. Trying to bust through there was Gavalis. Kick goes to the pocket. The speed's to Grigg. Can she get there? She can. Can't ride the tackle from Hauseger. Ball's still there. Grigg dives in. They pile in on top. Umpire calls for it. Dogs get a stoppage within range of goal.
She's an exciting player, Greg. Every time she's around it, she looks really speedy, dynamic, and you think something's going to happen. So it's really good watching her so far.
Incredible closing speed, doesn't she? Can make something happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to chase her, that's for sure.
Kick towards the top of the square. There's Grigg again, just putting her body in. Gavalis in there scrapping for the Dogs as well, and they've worked it to a dangerous spot here. Sydney defence will be on high alert. Can Edmonds manufacture something for her team? Flipped in the Berry direction. Who picks it up? Throws a boot at it. Floats it to the line. And floats it through. Superb from D. Berry. That pretty much sums it up, sir. Wonderful finish from the skipper. And the Dogs have back-to-back goals.
Such a crafty player, D. Berry. Like, literally, almost made something out of nothing there. Unbelievable. Yeah, D. Berry to go into work there, but to lose her play, get a bit of that gap, but then to put the ball over her head like that without really even looking at the goals. Really great goal awareness and really good piece of play.
Taking on the captaincy in 2024, D. Berry. Alongside Lauren Ahrens as the most experienced Dogs out there tonight, playing game 53. Soccer forward by Gardner, only as far as Gorham. She's got nowhere to go though. Taken it around by Sophia Hurley. Wolford and Edmonds continue their battle. Alice wins that tap. Carruthers try to get the hands free. Kennedy feeds it back. Swans want to build towards half forward again. There's Privatelli almost. Well done, Gorham. Umpire says play on. There are multiple sets of hands on that. So the problem now becomes Wilcox's. And the ball becomes Hurley's. She spots a player in the pocket. Lisa Steen. Kick towards Privatelli, didn't do her any favours. Fumble from Goodneck allowed the Swans in. Hamilton tight in the pocket. Bends it back towards the goal square. Dogs have got numbers there. Pritchard cops it up. Flashing through again with Cynthia Hamilton. Flying shot at goal, misses everything. Throw in with just over 3 minutes to play.
Yeah, we've definitely got a contest on our hands, Jace. It's been really impressive actually to see the Doggies start so far. I think their pressure is what's keeping them in the game at the moment and sort of forcing Sydney into those errors. Sydney are using that sort of feedback at the contest, but with that Doggies pressure pushing forward, it's sort of putting them under a little bit of pressure at the moment.
1050s 6-5 in favour of the Swans. So the territory battle's been pretty even in this opening term. Edmonds' kick is cut off by McAvoy. Can she find an option in amongst the congestion? Kimber stood tall as Privatelli came thundering out. Ball fed out from Goodneck, but nowhere for Grant to go. Edmonds again gets a clean tap. It's Shark this time by Gardner. Trying to bust through there was Butterfant. Goodneck found it again. Once again, the Swans have built the wall. This is Ali Morfitt. Driving kick towards Privatelli. Grant a fumble. And in the end, paid the grab on the second attempt. So Ben Privatelli drawing a crowd every time it comes in high and long. She had 3 to beat then.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't leave her unmarked, and really she's great in the air. So if you can get another person up there as a second person up, that'll put you in good stead.
Pritchard to Wilcox. Beautiful smother off her boot by Paige Shepherd, playing her first game of the season. Going 18 in her career. Originally out of Wurrwarri and Bellpost Hill and Geelong Way. Hands of the rucks, gets to the back. Steen tried to get it to Gardner, it's intercepted. Nice work from Gavalis. Needs an option, finds one, it's Grigg. So time for the Dogs here, 90 seconds on the clock. She had Berry down the line. Now sets it up. Gavalis left to stand underneath this. Ball hits the deck. Gardner taking a ground by Carruthers.
Gavalis' work earlier there, I think it's really underrated, that type of being able to get through traffic and still stay composed rather than slapping on the boots. That was really good to see.
Edmonds puts it into the path of Pritchard. 6 touch for Izzy. He's going to be a Sydney ball. And Cam Hyatt, first year as coach of the Dogs. First win last week and now looking to build upon that. This has been a good start. Final 70 seconds of the opening term. Friday night footy at the Kennel. Wilcox used her body illegally. Pushing the back, free kick to Lisa Steen. Almost smothered off the boot. It was enough to affect the kick. Doggies ball through Goodneck. Tie kick back to the wing. Berry lurks at the back. She read that just better than everyone else. So time for one late foray forward here for the Western Bulldogs. Berry's kick. It's going to get cut off, nicely read by other heads. Wider than she wanted to go. She's handed it back to the Dogs once again. So a couple of wayward kicks, giving the Dogs some opportunities late. Goodneck goes back to the pocket. That's going to come back from whence it came though. Again, the Swans have got numbers back. The defensive zone holding up late in this term with 23 seconds to play. And kick to kick, not what the Dogs are looking for. Berry in this pack again. Gardner.
The ball's been kept quite skinny by both teams at the moment, but both teams are numbering off really well outside the contest and around the ground, so it's hard to try and find that switch at the moment.
Morfitt gets a clean run at it, but Wilcox first to find the football. And tackling again in there from the Dogs. Morfitt couldn't control it. And it is quarter time at the Kennel. Friday night football as Chloe Malloy and Alana Woodward watch on. It is the Western Bulldogs, 2-1-13, leading Sydney 1-1-7. It's the Doggies by one straight kick.
All right, folks, it's quarter time here at Whitten Oval. The Dogs surprisingly have jumped out of the boxes and started barking early. That's 2-1-13, the Bulldogs to the Sydney Swans 1-1-7. Unexpected here by the Bulldogs. I tell you what, the Doggies, they look like they have definitely come out to play tonight in this game. They got great defence there. Sydney going forward, but the Dogs are just choking them up down in that area and not allowing Sydney any easy possessions down forward 50, whereas the Bulldogs creating space up forward, and they're looking very good. They look dangerous every time they go forward. But it's a good night out here for football. The weather looks ideal, perfect conditions for footy, and good crowd in there. Big crowd in there, all supporting their teams. Of course, a lot of Sydney Swans supporters there watching the girls tonight play because, of course, we've got the big men's AFL season grand final tomorrow, which is going to be a ring-a-ding-ding game, folks. All right, let's just go ahead and have a look at the player stats for the match so far. Let me just reload this up. Here we go. As we can see, there's no real big disposal getter. No one dominating this game. It's just even across the board, the way it sees. They're all doing their part, all doing their piece. Sophie Hurley there tops the table, though, with 7 disposals. She's had 6 kicks. She's had a handball, a mark, and 5 tackles. So she's had a good opening quarter there for the Swannies. Lisa Steen on 6. Also, Tanya Kennedy and Isabel Pritchard and Isabel Grant. There we go, both on 6. Let's just roll down the table. Ali Morfitt there with 4 for the Swannies. Deanna Berry there with 4, all kicks, 4 kicks, of course. She's kicked a goal. We're going to go and have a look at the goal scorers in a moment. I think there's just a couple of goals being scored so far, so we will have a look at that. The goal scorers tally. Let's go back and have a little look at that while we are on the break and waiting for the game to recommence with the commentators coming back. Of course, the only goal scorer for the Sydney Swans, Rebecca Privatelli. 2 disposals, 2 kicks, 1 goal. Of course, for the Bulldogs, Sarah Hartwig and Deanna Berry, both with a single goal each. Sarah Hartwig, 1 disposal. She's had 1 kick, kicked a goal, 100%. You got to love that. There is your disposal count and your goal scorers for the first quarter. Let's just check in, see what the team stats are like. As we can see, this should be reasonably even across the board here, folks. We've got Sydney by 7 in the disposal count. Just the 4 kicks, 3 handballs in front. Inside 50, 6 to the Dogs. There you go, they're doing pretty good, the Dogs. As I said, they're looking a little bit dangerous. 6 times in for 3 scoring shots, whereas Sydney inside 7, just the 2 scoring shots. Around the ground, disposal efficiency, a little bit low for both sides there, 51, 54%. We need to get that up above. They get that around about 65 and up. They're doing pretty good, reasonably clean. 66 inside 50% for the Doggies, 42 for the Swans. Free kicks, well, the Swans, they got 5. The Doggies have 2. The hit-outs, 13-7. For the Dogs leading that department. The clearances, though, all tied up. 2 centre clearances to the Swans. None for the Dogs. They want to look to improve in the next quarter in that department. Contested possessions, uncontested, all pretty even. Turnovers around about the same. The only thing that's a little bit wayward is time in possession for the match. Of course, the Dogs are 50% more than the Swannies, 45% to 30%. So the Dogs had most control there. 14-10 in the marks. Both teams marking inside 50, which is fantastic. All right, folks, let's get back down to the commentators, and they'll take us in to the second quarter. It's the Doggies by 6 points.
He's coming up with the opening goal of the game through Vic Privatelli. And then the Dogs responding with a couple. Sarah Hartwig and Dee Berry as we head down to Nat.
Tam, a solid first quarter from you guys. The pressure was good. How did you assess it?
Yeah, it was good pressure. I think it's a great night for both sides. Lots of contested ball in there. They probably got us a little bit on the outside, so we've just got to tighten up a little bit. But yeah, good start so far. Georgia boys
Bulldog is done for the day with a knee injury. Do you have to throw the magnets around a little bit? How do you tweak things?
Not yet. Alice, I think a couple of weeks ago, she rocked 100%, so she's pretty fit. We'll probably reassess that at halftime.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Nat.
Thanks to Tam Hyatt. Her side leading by a straight kick. What do you make of the opening term, Bree?
Yeah, look, they just touched on it, but the pressure has been so high for both teams. But I've been particularly impressed with the Bulldogs at the moment. Yeah, they, like Tam said, they might be getting done on the outside, but that pressure to come forward at them is really forcing them into errors. So, yeah, really keen to see how this quarter pans out.
Izzy Pritchard busy. He's had 6 touches. Izzy Grant also 6 in the back half. Goodneck's had 5. Fitzgerald, Wilcox and Berry all 4 apiece, while Hurley's had 7. The Swans 6 to Steen and 6 to Kennedy, 5 to Laura Gardner to go with 5 tackles as well. Sophia Hurley also with 5 tackles in the opening term. 32 tackles to 21 in that first quarter in favour of the Swans. Lucy McAvoy gained 50 as we mentioned. As we start the second term, Morford tries to take it from the ruck and does it really well. Hands it off. Coming through was Hamilton. It was smothered off her boot though. Kennedy needs some support. Went back to Morford. Woodley got in the way to break it up. Ball soccer forward. Pritchard comes through. Crashing in the other way was Berylson. Does well. Wins it. Delivers it. Privatelli direction through her fingertips. Gets to the back. Kimber needed to be clean. Off to Wilcox. Great smother off her boot. Well done by Steen. Loses her footing. Wilcox now with a couple to beat. Needs support. Grundon takes her down. Umpire said illegally. Dump tackle.
Really great work by Steen there to obviously try and keep it in the front half now. Obviously, a free kick's been given away, but before that, the work to try and keep it up there for her team, outstanding.
Solid collision in that passage of play. That kick from Wilcox. Not the first tonight to float out of bounds to the broadcast side. Chance for the Swans to pin the Dogs in their own back half through Montana Berylson. Spears it low and flat. Privatelli again the target, as she so often is. Hurley went hunting it on the ground, couldn't find it. Wilcox has been busy. She's had plenty to do. Morford out of the ruck. It's touched off her boot. Grant straight line the football. Flipped out. Privatelli ducks under a tackle. Releases a handball. Hurley kicks the opening goal of the second term. Good sustained pressure from Sydney. The fans liked it. Scores a level.
Just the work rate at the moment by Hurley. She's had 8 disposals, 5 tackles, and just obviously able to snag a goal as well. But no, doing really well. Keen to see more of her today.
7 kicks going at 100%. Damaging player. He's looked on from the start. And the Bloods fans enjoying it. Scores level. Early stages of the second term. Kennedy tries to fend on Fitzgerald, gets free, and then great delivery to Berylson, and she'll want to run. Gets to 55, drives the kick to Privatelli. This has been a great start to the second term from Sydney.
Yeah, strong start by Sydney here. You can see Doggies are doing it in the first quarter too. Their halfbacks are getting really aggressive at the centre bounce to try and support the back of that contest. On that particular occasion, it just got caught out, got bunny hopped a little bit, then straight into Swans forward 50.
12 disposals to 3 to start the second term, and a chance to turn that into 2 goals. Ben Privatelli.
Very accurate kick here, Jay. Side back her in.
She doesn't miss many. Ben slots her second, and the Swans grab the lead. In the blink of an eye, they've turned a 1-goal deficit into a 1-goal lead.
touched on it before, Jace, but the Bulldogs at the moment, they get really tacking off that halfback. You see there, the halfback just gets bunny hops. They probably got a little bit too attacking, and therefore Sydney were able to access that player and then get it into Privatelli there. So we'll see how this next one unfolds, but they need to be a little bit careful of that halfback there.
It's been an efficient 4 minutes of football, hasn't it? 13 disposals to 3, based on 3 clearances. They kicked a couple of goals. Great start to the second term. Now the Dogs need to muscle up and respond. Carruthers tries to do exactly that as she goes to ground with Kennedy. Good intensity to start the second quarter from the Swans. Cynthia Hamilton bounces it to 50 over the head of Grant. Socket forward by Grundon to keep it moving. Ball gets to the back. Ahrens. But again, they can't clear the zone, and again it's Privatelli. I've spoken to her about her ability. It's amazing to think she started as a key defender.
Yeah, no, I think I played a lot of junior footy up forward though, so I reckon they threw her back for a bit to see how she go there, and I think she's back at home in the forward line, and yeah, again, she's popped it to the top here.
Done the team thing and gone to the square. Swans do have some numbers there, but so do the Dogs. Pritchard won't quite sit for Izzy, where she dragged off the football. Umpire says play on. Ball in underneath that pack, they pile in. Edmonds feeds it back to Ahrens. Pressure comes from Hurley. She can't keep it alive.
We've seen the Swans start really strong here. It's been really impressive first few minutes of this second quarter, but I think what's important here for Doggies is try and stem the momentum a little bit. It might mean they need to slow the game down, make it a little bit ugly, but try to stop the Swans from keeping this momentum going.
Now it's Morford who'll get the next opportunity. Kick from out of bounds on the full. The kick inside from Ella Heads was great. Now Ellie Morford with a chance. She's kicked 4 goals, 3 in her 26 AFLW games. There's the kick from, in fact, it was Julia O'Sullivan. Morford. Does she get it there? She does. This is some start to the second quarter from Sydney. Ellie Morford gets her first goal of the season. And the Swans have opened up a 2-goal lead.
You can see here, Jace, the Doggies leaving that space open just there for Sydney to sort of come in towards. I think they need to be careful of that, whether the mids work hard back to sort of fill that space in and close off those lanes. But yeah, Sydney really composed to sort of lower the eyes there and not blaze away.
Ellie Morford with her first goal of the season. Swans have had 4 inside 50s for 3 goals to start this second term. And then they'll go inside 50 again. Gardner's kick. Georgia Starthers couldn't take the mark, but completed the tackle on the way down.
Yeah, really strong tackle there, and good to sort of stop that momentum there for Sydney.
So what can the Dogs do here just to settle things down a little, get some control? They need some time in possession. They might get it now. Goodnick's handball to Carruthers. It was smothered off her boot. Here's a chance for O'Sullivan. She feeds it back. Fitzgerald will come in and put some pressure on. Woodley will do the same for the Dogs. But the Swans have got numbers. Coming in to support was Alice Mitchell. Couldn't take it cleanly. Gardner was taken down. Dogs try to surge it forward through Smith. Here's Bullis. She works to the front, wins the football. Gives it to Hauseger. Mitchell. Sergeant Wilson just got the kick away, but great tackle pressure affected the kick. It's really good work from Fitzgerald, and then a 50-metre penalty will bring Al Bennett within range. A chance to kick her second of the season and a much-needed steadier for the Dogs. Here's another look. Well done, Jess Fitzgerald.
Yeah, great chase down tackle. I think there as well, Sydney were on for that transition, so Fitzgerald doesn't lay that tackle, they could have been in a little bit of trouble there.
50-metre penalty paid for knocking the ball out of the arms of Al Bennett, who's kicked 5-11 in her AFLW career, 1 straight for the season. Dogs need this one just to settle them down.
Really important here, really important goal here for the Doggies if Ellie can snag this.
25 out straight in front. She nails it. Good goal for one of their veterans, the 35-year-old El Bennett's. Like game 55 tonight, kicks the 6th goal of her AFLW career. We're back to a one-kick game. What do you make of the 50?
It's always a bit stupid, isn't it? But look, yeah, they really can hurt teams. You've got to be really careful giving away 50s. Obviously, there's led to a goal for the Dogs and hope maybe a swing in momentum for them now.
Getting back within a kick after the Swans jumped out and kicked the first 3 goals of the second term. Edmonds went early. Gardner tried to slap it on. Flying in off the square was Smith, and she was taken high. Got there first. Good endeavour from Jasmine Smith. Towards centre half forward, up in front was Pritchard. Swans with numbers on the deck, umpire said illegal disposal. Bulldogs ball. It's coming back to Dom Carruthers. Swans get numbers back. Work very hard in both directions. A falcon there from Pritchard. Gardner surrounded. Got it to Hamilton, who tried to slap it on. Gardner goes in again. Smith wraps her up. Edmonds a tap. Fitzgerald couldn't quite find her boot. In the process, kicked someone, I think, and she's pulled away from the contest a little sore. Pritchard does get it forward this time. Grigg comes in, lays a tackle on O'Sullivan. Ball still there. Smith's hunting it. Picked up by Woodley. Well done, O'Sullivan again. Got involved to break it up. Ball spills back. Fitzgerald bounces it forward. Dangerous one at the top of the square. Hartwood wrapped up. Ball up. Home crowd getting behind the Bulldogs. Swans with plenty of fans here tonight as well. Griggs kick effectively smothered off her boot by Hurley. Comes in and lays a tackle. Kennedy ran over the top of it. Ball comes out to Goodnett. Flying shot towards the top of the square. Great defensive work. Ball spills to the front. There's a hole that's going to O'Sullivan. She was being restricted off the ball. And the Swans defence hold firm.
Yeah, that's right, Jason. At the moment, it's crazy in the game of football how big the momentum shifts can be. At the moment, Sydney are all over the Dogs a little bit at this point, but the Dogs so far have done well to stem the momentum. Like I said, you might need to make it ugly, you might need to make it scrappy, but they're sort of hanging in there right now.
Swans controlled all the territory until the Dogs went down that end, got that 1 goal, and since then the ball's lived in there, front half of the ground. Trying to keep it that way. Fitzgerald had a bounce, didn't come back to her. Pressure now comes from Vale. The kick forward to take some territory. Will dribble over the line in front of Paige Shepherd, so it'll be Lizzie Georgia-Stathis' ball. Just over 8 minutes to play in the opening half. Swannies by a goal. Grigg at the back worked off it. Well done, O'Sullivan. It was good, strong work. Bouncing football. Shepherd will try to get there before the line and does. She tried to flip it back to Hurley, missed the target. Smith looked inside. Popped it over the top. Won't quite get to Pritchard. Well done by Gardner. She scurries away. Kicks to half forward but turns it over in the process. Mark taken by Kaylee Kimber.
You can see Doggies are trying to open up to generate a switch. They're just not taking it at the moment. They keep going sort of straight down the line to the numbers. I'd like to see them try and get the ball out to the open side. Pritchard
ran it nicely off the pack. Got it to Carruthers. High kick towards 50. Hartwig came out to meet it. Again, great defensive work this time from Ella Heads. The Swans continue to stand up here. Hamilton the tap. Fitzgerald trying to paddle to her advantage, and again Kennedy found it, did really well, fed it back to Lexi Hamilton. Had a bit of time to assess her options. And that one's cut off again by Georgia-Stathis. Pointed towards the switch and then realised it was covered. So instead she'll hit a 45-degree kick. That'll work. Chance here for the Dogs to go forward again. This is Smith getting involved. In fact, it's Woodley. Edmonds with heart. Just reached over the top. Took the grab 20 out and can go back to level the scores.
It's a great mark there by Alice, and again, a strength of hers and her dominance around ground and in the air. You know, it's really, really damaging for the Bulldogs. Hopefully she can snag this one for them and put them back in the game.
To no one's surprise, given her height. She played basketball until she was 18 years of age. Continues to develop one of the more improving players in the competition, but didn't hit that one well, missed it to the right. Started at Richmond in the VFL in 2018, was in the team of the year, played some games at Richmond and then came to the Dogs to replace Gab Newton when she got injured. Wilcox's kick. Green got involved. Nice spin through by Weston Turner. Couldn't get an effective kick though. But once again, we see the Dogs, who have now for the last 6 or 7 minutes been able to pin it in their front half.
Yeah, exactly right, Jace. Again, I think it's just their pressure at the source and their ability to come up at Sydney. It's putting them under a lot of pressure. But yeah, Sydney looking to get the momentum back on their terms like it was in the first part of this quarter.
Please, Coach Tam Hyatt, given the Swans' complete dominance early. Wrapped up there is Hausegger. So it's been good effort from the Dogs to turn that around and get a bit of time in their own front half and help the Swans, who were rolling. McAvoy slapped it to Gardner. She heads towards Privatelli. Body to body against Butterford, who comes back to lay the tackle. Wilcox slides in, worked off it by Gardner. Quick hands, intercepted. Fitzgerald. Woodley got a hand on it. Kennedy, nowhere to go, tries to spin through. Did manage to get the hands free to Whelan. Only as far as Edmonds. Off a step, one-on-one contest, well done by Mitchell. She attacked it, did really well, got it back to the middle of the ground. But once again, the Dogs have got numbers. Gorham spirals it back inside 50. Greg couldn't quite complete the mark. It's still there. Gardner, Hamilton, smothered by Greg. Woodley goes forward, one-on-one now. Hartwell get a fresh air shot. And in the end, the Swans will concede. Mad scrambling defence from Sydney.
Just unbelievable pressure by the Bulldogs. At the moment, Sydney actually have more numbers around the ball, so they're going to have to try and use their numbers, absorb the pressure at the moment, rather than kick away, because Bulldogs are set up with extra numbers behind the footy at the moment.
Somehow Berry managed to keep that alive. Privatelli. Hamilton. Georgia Stathis with a couple to beat now. She'll get there first. She needs some support. That's a wonderful tackle. She was outnumbered 2-1. She attacked the football and then Sarah Grundon attacked her.
Football is a lot about moments here, and that tackle there is super important for Sydney. Again, we've just spoken about the momentum that Bulldogs have been able to gain back, but that tackle to keep it in their front half, really important for Sydney.
Really important defensive fist in there from Butterford as well, but still alive. The Swans here at ground level. Ball thread through traffic. Privatelli hoisted high, up and under kick. Edmonds got across, got a hand to it. Awkward bounce. Nicely gathered in by Berylson. Needs some support. Won't find it there. Jasmine Smith with a relieving mark. Just need to be tidy on the way out here with just over 3 minutes left in the half. Gorham. High to the wing. Well read by Ella Heads. So strong in the air, so dangerous behind the ball. Inside to McAvoy. They look to switch. Steen has a bit of time. Wilcox covering it. The forward 50 is the loose. So she hits the shorter option. It's a good one to Whelan, and now the give and go. Beautiful tackle up. Run down was Steen. That was Goodneck that laid it. Hurt herself in the process. Trying to bust through there was Whelan, and she's gone. Ball up. So now it's the Doggies' turn to try and absorb some pressure. Edmonds got clean hands again. Gorham's kick into traffic. Berry just spirals it towards the wing. Gets it from the danger area. Playing in front was El Bennett. Gets the free kick. She's got Weston Turner down the line. One-on-one with Mitchell. Brings it wide to Fitzgerald. See Weston Turner there. right of screen. Calling for it now with a hand in the air, but lots of traffic around her. Head in that direction. Kick not to her advantage at all, and it's easily picked off by Mitchell. And we'll treat inside our own defensive 50 to retain possession. 90 seconds to play in the half. Now it's up to the Swans to just be tidy on the way out. Ella heads to McAvoy. Confronted by Bennett's. Good ball movement here from Sydney. Safe to Holly Cooper. Next link in the chain as they work it out of defence is Vale. Going short is Whelan. Vale will go longer. We'll get over the back. Smith, can she get on the end of this against Berylson? Ball goes out.
Really composed ball movement there by Sydney. As we've said, the momentum shifts have been pretty heavy in this quarter, going one way than the other. So I think Sydney just to be composed there, not rush out of their back line and just sort of stay controlled. Really mature of their side just then.
No risk at all and shoot up some clock at the same time. Into the final minute of the opening half. Friday night footy at the Kennel. Pritchard. She gets something going late here for the Dogs. Awkward bounce might beat all comers. Weston Turner. Howzeger be happy to use the line and or Mitchell. Mitchell now picks up the football and Gavalis immediately tackles her in her prior opportunity. 40 seconds. Still time for the Dogs if they can be clean from this congestion. Hamilton in the ruck. Weston Turner tried to back her way out. Gavalis can't find her boot. McAvoy just wants to hit a target and close the quarter out. Call to go, and Prit does. Almost got there too. Smith. Privatelli in there as well. Smith again. She's shuffled over the line. And a good professional last couple of minutes here from Sydney. It's almost like they've gone into a 2-minute defensive drill.
Yeah, exactly right. You had McAvoy on the ball there, and she's just so smart beyond her years as well. So I think she understands where they're at in the clock and just to sort of kill that so they can get to half-time with the lead still intact.
Feels like Lucy's been around forever. She's only 23 years of age, playing her 6th season. It is half-time. And it is the Swans by 4 points. Dogs kicked the last 2 goals in the opening term to lead by 6 at quarter time. And then Sydney came out and went whack, whack, whack to start the second term. 3 goals in quick succession before the Dogs managed to pull one back. And at the major break, it is a 4-point game. Sydney 4-1-25. The Western Bulldogs 3-3-21 as we head down to Nat.
Lucy, a few momentum shifts in that second term. How are you seeing it out there?
Yeah, it has changed around a little bit. We know they're a young side and their fallback is to pressure, and they've certainly bought it in that first half, and I feel like we've matched it. We've had a few bits we've been able to get it going our way. It's just now more about consistency for us in the second half.
And congratulations, 50th game for you tonight. A big night, a nice milestone. And Daniel Harford, your former coach, presented you and made a speech before the game. How is that reflecting back on your 50 games?
Yeah, it's been a really nice week. You get some messages from a lot of players that you've played with in the past, and to have Half present me my jumper was awesome. We still talk quite regularly, Half and I. You know, we got on really well when I was at the Baggers, and we've kept that relationship going post that as well, and I'm really grateful for the help that he's given me in my career.
Well, a big second half for you. Go rest up and good luck.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Lucy McAvoy there. It is the Swans that lead by 4 points at halftime. It's Friday night footy on 7 after the break. Chloe Malloy, the captain of the Sydney Swans, to join us.
All right, half-time, folks. This is a pretty good game we are witnessing here this evening. The Swans only by 4 points. I tell you what, it's a real battle out there tonight for possession, for ground. As I said, the defences are working absolutely fantastic for both sides. Even though the Swannies there put on 3 goals in the second term, the Bulldogs put on 1 goal too. It's a really good game to watch. Let's just go and check in with the player stats as we always like to do. Of course, Laura Gardner there, top on the table with 13. Most on the field at the moment, 7 kicks, 6 handballs, 2 marks, 7 tackles. It's having a good game there for the Swannies. And the leading ones for, of course, the Bulldogs, Isabel Pritchard, Jessica Fitzgerald, both on 9 possessions for the game so far. All right, let's keep rolling it down, Hope everyone's enjoying the coverage of this game tonight. The Western Bulldogs taking on the Sydney Swans. Always a good rivalry between these two sides, folks. Whether it's the AFLW or the AFL, there's always a great rivalry between these two teams. And, of course, we've got a few people in there at the moment going for either side. Of course, Bianca's wanting the Doggies to get up. When Al comes in, he'll be definitely going for the Swannies to get up. Let's have a look at the goal scorers. One multiple goal scorer, and that is for the Swans. And that's Rebecca Privietti. She's kicked 2 goals of her 5 kicks. Ali Morfitt, Sophie Hurley, single goal scorers there for the Swans. And, of course, for the Dogs, all singles to Sarah Hartwig, Deanna Berry, and Ellie Bennett. There are your goal scorers. Just in case you play the AFL fantasy points, folks, there we go. Laura Gardner topping the table up to half-time with 70 points. Alice Edmonds, 55. Sophie Hurley, 52. Ellie Morfitt, 51. Rebecca Privatelli, 50. And, of course, the rest are under that. Let's check out the team stats, see what's happening over in that department over there. Of course, it's the Swans by 31. A lot more ball for them. What have we got? About 14 more kicks, 17 more handballs. That's the way it rolls there for the Swannies. Inside 50s, though. Both teams getting their chances. It's great to see. As I said, it's a pretty even game, and I think the defensive side and the is holding up well for both teams. 13 inside 50s for the Dogs for 6 scoring shots, and for the Sydney Swans, they've been in one more, 14 times, for 1 less scoring shots of 5, but they're kicking straight, 4 goals, 1, which is great to see their accuracy coming to tuition in this game here tonight. Disposal efficiency, though, just a little bit down there for the Doggies tonight. Sydney Swans creeping up. It's up to somewhere near the numbers we need. Both inside efficiency. Well, a little bit, well, I suppose that's not too bad. Could be a little bit better for both sides. 46, 42. Free kicks, pretty well average for the season there for the umpires given. 6 to 9. That's the Swans. 3 extra. The Dogs dominating in the hitouts, though, 22 to 12. The clearances, though, 14 17. Swans taking the taps off the Doggies. Not really all that much advantage there, even though the Dogs are doing that much better in the hitouts. Centre clearances, Swans doing really good in that aspect, 5 to 1. Stoppage clearances, pretty even. Contested possessions, pretty even. Uncontested, Swans got the play there. All right, let's just go down and have a look at the marks. There we go. Sydney Swans 30 to 18, finding their players a little bit more around the ground. Marks inside 50, doing a good job there, the Swannies, to find their targets 6 times in the opening half. The Doggies just the 3. Looking at the tackles now, both teams tackling above their season average, 39 for the Dogs, 49 for the Swans, definitely bringing the heat. And I'm liking those numbers, tackles inside 50, 9 to 12, both teams tackling really well there. All right, let's get back down to the ground.
Yeah, again, we've spoken about it all day, all night tonight, but just seeing both teams embrace their momentum shifts and the Doggies' pressure, I've been really impressed by that. It's kept them in the game, and Swans are a great team, so to put them on the back foot, I guess it's great for the Dogs and good for the competition.
Something for both coaches to be pleased with. The Swans responded really well after quarter time, listening to Scott Gowans, and then Tam Hyatt must have been delighted at her team's ability to stop Sydney's run at 3 goals and then get things back their way. Yeah, that's right. And at the moment around the contest, you can see Sydney have more numbers around the contest, and the Doggies are sort of sagging off a little bit behind the ball at the moment. So Sydney need to try to use their numbers around the contest and try and march it forward that way rather than sort of getting it on the boot, as Doggies got all the support behind the ball at the moment. Asukan's smooth play of the first half was D. Berry. Smooth finish.
Very smooth finish, Jay. So we spoke about it before, but just a silky mover, gets the ball, doesn't even look at the goal, just knows where it is. So, yeah, really, really experienced player for the Doggies, and obviously the skipper, so good for her to get a snag.
Chloe Malloy Molloy suffered her share of injuries over the journey. Unfortunately, she's been sidelined by an ACL injury this season. Here she is with Nat Edwards.
Chloe, how do you go watching on the sidelines? What have you made of the team's performance so far?
Yeah, it's been up and down. First of all, it's very hard to watch from the sidelines. I think that's the most difficult part, is not being able to impact physically. But I guess I look at it and I go, okay, you know, they've got to figure it out themselves. We're coming into ourselves and kind of figuring footy out. And, you know, me, an experienced head coming out, I think gives other players an opportunity to step up. So I think, you know, I kind of sit there and go, all right, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out and we'll benefit for it in the long term. But, yeah, start of that quarter, we came out absolutely fine. I think Scotty might have had a few words to them, but to Doggy's credit, you know, the pressure's just been relentless from them, and I think we've just we've been a bit fumbly for our life.
Enough about the game, because I want to talk to you about Katy Perry, the absolute pop star that she is.
Hold on,
Oh,
she's
she's
calling
calling. Oh, there you go. You had selfies with her yesterday. You had a bit of a kick with her as well. What was she like?
She was lovely, and she was very respectful towards the game at AFL. She's very witty, very bubbly, and I was already a fan, but she's gained an even bigger fan in me.
Are you besties now?
Oh, absolutely bestie. She followed me on Instagram, numbers, exchanged everything.
Now tell me, what has it been like? Sydney Swans men playing in a grand final. You get to watch that tomorrow and I guess unify as a whole club. What has that experience been like this week?
Yeah, I guess the term unified just there, and that's what it's really felt. And then, to be fair, I think it's just an opportunity on the big stage for the boys to, you know, they've had such a season of a roller coaster for them. Obviously, had that lull period, now they're finding really fine form, and a couple of players back in. So yeah, it's been incredible. The club do the one club notion so well. It is so exciting to be a part of, like, family. So it's like, you know, you're going out and watch your brothers tomorrow. Obviously, get the job done here tonight, and then go watch the boys tomorrow.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'll let you go and text your bestie Katy Perry back.
Thanks, Nat.
Back to you, Jace.
Thanks, Nat. Thanks to Chloe Molloy. It is half-time at the Whitten Oval. It is the Swans by 4 points. And our NAB AFL Oz kickers are out there having a fantastic time at half-time as always. NAB have been a great supporter of footy from Auskick to the big time. Head to nab.com.au/Auskick. It is one of the great programs growing our great game right around Australia. Half-time at the Kennel. Swans by 4 points. beautiful night in Melbourne. What a glorious shot that is. The statue of the great Teddy E.J. Whitten out the front of the Whitten Oval. And a beautiful night in Melbourne. And it is the Swans leading it by 4 points. They're 4-1-25. The Dogs are 3-3-21 as we head down to Nat.
Well, Jace, the Western Bulldogs lost Georgia Borg to a left knee injury in that opening term. She is done for the night. It means that Alice Edmonds is going to have to ruck 100% of the game time from now. And then she is coming up against Ali Morfitt, who was the All-Australian ruck from last season off just 7 games of football. Ali was rested or managed for the last 2 weeks. She's got a bit of a hot spot in her foot as well. So she's going to have to manage that for the rest of the season. So I'm intrigued to see how this ruck battle might play out in the second half.
Thanks, Nat. Any indication of the severity to Georgia's knee? Are they going to have to do the scans to work that out?
They're going to need to have the scans and then they'll update throughout the week.
Fingers crossed for Georgia. Let's hope it's good news over the next day or two. She's going to have an anxious grand final weekend awaiting those results. Here is Ali Morfitt. As Nat mentioned, she was good to play in the practice matches. They sat her out just to be overly cautious. And again, similarly the last couple of weeks, just making sure she doesn't overload that foot. They don't want that hot spot to potentially grow into something worse. As we start the third term, important 4 points up for grabs. Swans can win tonight. They can force their way back into the top 8 picture and stay in touch with the top 4. And Morfitt will get the first touch of the second half. Bounces it out into some space. Opportunity for Hurley, who's been one of the best players on the ground so far. Inside 50, off the hands of Privatelli. Hamilton was bustled off the football. Pritchard in there working hard. Nice sidestep from Gardner, got herself some space. Back towards Hamilton. She slaps it on. Berenson lurking. Privatelli's handball missed Hurley. Bullis dragged off her kick. Still there. Dogs working overtime, and eventually Fitzgerald sinks the boot into it. Front on contact. Bulldogs ball. Grigg will have it. She says to settle things down, guys. The Swans have come at us hot again. Start the third term. Sydney slammed on 3 goals in a hurry to start the second. Berry did well. As Bree mentioned, smooth mover on that time. Couldn't hit the target. Pritchard, so it'll be a Sydney ball through Ella Heads.
You just saw then when Greg got it, just held up the play. Doggies at the moment, they're doing a really good job defensively to help and get back, but it means that they're sort of filtering out of their forwards, so they don't have much option going forward, so they have to hold it up.
Trouble here. Mitchell's kick missed the target, made life a little difficult for Sergeant Wilson. She got it back to Mitchell, and another kick not controlled, this time by O'Sullivan. Opens a door for Woodley. Can the Dogs punish these couple of errors? High kick. Weston Turner at the front, knocked away. Bennett stayed down, went left, then went right. Got it back inside to Weston Turner. Couldn't complete the grab. It was actually touched off the boot anyhow. And the Swans concede. And the Heads will have the kick in. Certain of her option. In the end, she'll decide grandstand side. Runs her full measure. Goes towards Morfitt versus Edmonds. It's been a fantastic battle in the ruck. One Gardner has gritted her teeth. Got there first past Gorham. But the kick cut off. And the Dogs set up nicely behind the football through Butterford.
Yeah, again, good work rate for the Dogs to get back there to help defend. Now it's to get forward and push forward hard too.
And Butterford went towards Edmonds. Couldn't complete the grab. Berenson couldn't get away from Wilcox. Likewise, Bullis and Berry. Free kick for Hull. It's going to Dean Berry. Against Hayley Bullis, who just shakes her head in disbelief. Only turned 28 last Monday. Kick inside 50. Gets to the back of the contest. Pritchard will turn tackle on Ella Heads. The wrestles are over the line. 16 touches for Laura Gardner, 10 each for McAvoy and Kennedy, 10 for Fitzgerald, 9 for Pritchard. They're the leading ball getters for both teams. Have gone back an awfully long way. Have to come in now in a hurry. Morfitt. Pritchard with a couple to beat. Harassed out of it. O'Sullivan nowhere to go. Picked up by Fitzgerald. Bends it towards the square. Good body work there from Mitchell. Gardner needs to be quick. Not quick enough. Advantage paid, and Western Turner goes. Dogs regain the lead through their #1 draft pick. Good forward pressure from the Dogs ultimately pays dividends.
Like you mentioned, Jace, just the work rate to put pressure on into that front half and in that forward line is what got them to the goal there. Really impressive stuff by the Bulldogs and a real team effort so far.
Great work from Woodley to lay the tackle. Good team defence from the Doggies, and they're back in front, and they are right in this game. Critical 4 points this for the Swans. But equally, for the Dogs, a chance to build back-to-back wins and really get some belief and a bit of momentum in this season and start to grow. Good pressure, good net. Denied Morfitt. Away goes the speeds to Grigg. Time to put it on the ground. Kick towards half forward. Bouncing football read by McAvoy, but she left it behind. Now it's Woodley versus McAvoy. Heads will arrive to create the 2-on-1. Well done, Woodley. Beats the numbers in the end. She gives away the free kick for the dump tackle. It was great endeavour from Heidi. There's the numbers for the time in forward half in this third term. A little bit of pressure here on the Swans, making a couple of errors. This time it's Steen with the fumble. Throw in. Here's another look at that tackle. It's considered dangerous. So it's going to be Edmonds and Morfitt once again. It's been an engaging duel, this one. Morfitt gets to the front this time. Couldn't control it though. Tried to paddle it on. Pritchard couldn't control it either. She's then taken down. They pile in on top. Another ball up. Both teams, Bree, doing a great job closing down the exits.
Yeah, exactly right. At the moment, again, the pressure around the source has been great, but yeah, just the ability to make sure that they're numbered off around the contest, making it hard for both teams to be able to move it really easily out of the stoppage at the moment.
Hamilton, a free kick, nothing doing, said the umpire. Maybe now a chance for the Swans through Hauseger. Found her boot. Beat Hamilton, who then turned around. That's Lexi Hamilton. Cynthia involved earlier. Laid the tackle on Lauren Ahrens. At the moment, has the job on Lexi Hamilton. Morfitt tried to take it from the ruck. Carruthers tried to get involved. It was Gardner. Privatelli came out, couldn't control it. At ground level, bouncing ball. Pressure on Butterfin here. Elects not to run it through. Rolled the dice. It worked out well because Elle Bennett's took it on the chest.
Elle Bennett's has had some real moments in this game so far. Again, mentioned it before, but, you know, football is moments, and she's really stepping up as one of the leaders and sort of experienced players in this group.
McAvoy, strong hands. Woodley wanted a free kick. Wallace couldn't take the grab. Creates a bit of pressure. Hartwig can just kick it into from forward space now. It's going to be a race. Western Turner's going to get there first. She paddles. Will it sit for her? Not quite. She's got some support though. Hamble went behind Wilcox. Look out now. The speed's to Grigg. Can Grigg get there first? Working hard is Kennedy. Ball socket forward. Great scrambling D from Sydney as Ali Morfitt comes to the bench as we head down an Nat Edwards match. She looks a bit distressed.
Yeah, she does. Jace just really struggling there to walk. She's in the hands of the physio and the doctor. So I'll come back to you with what exactly the issue is, but it looks to be a right foot.
Oh, it's that foot. As we mentioned, she's had a history of foot problems in recent times. That would also explain the distress, just the worry of that. Here's a look.
Looks to be trod on potentially.
Yeah, potentially. That would actually be a good result in a sense if it's not the hot spot underneath, but we'll wait to hear from Nat. Dangerous kick. Bullis did really well to keep her feet, didn't she? Gave it off to Sergeant Wilson. Georgia Stathis read it first and then cleverly didn't touch it. And Sally Morfitt.
Yeah, that's just smart ball play there, Jay. So, you know, to shepherd that over, again, now it's got her team the ball and it's really effective.
Looks like they might just be testing those toes. Western Turner Handballed it back to Pritchard, but immediately clapped her hands in frustration. She probably could have gone herself.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what she was thinking there, Jace, but I'll try to do the team thing.
Edmonds wanted to put it down to Gavalis. Well done by Hamilton to break that up. Gavalis did find it eventually, but surrounded. As the physios continue to work on Ali Morfitt and try to diagnose that problem. Gardner. Ball gets over the back of that pack. Good run from Bullis. Through the traffic. Berylton loves some space. She'll run at every opportunity. She's got an option. She hits the switch kick. They do it well. Opens up the angle. Steen. Next link in the chain. This is great ball movement from the Swans. Inside 50. Off the hands of the contest. Hamilton. Gardner. Pritchard can't prevent the handball. Good strong work again. This time it's Bennettson over the top with the tackle. Umpire calls for it. It's now the Dogs' turn to provide some scrambling defence as they shut down Cynthia Hamilton. Fitzgerald in there scrapping. Smith takes possession. Feeds it out. Gorham, quick kick. Nicely read. Well done there by Hausegger. O'Sullivan sweeps through, couldn't really find her boot effectively. Gardner just flings it into space. Hurley runs onto it. Good moments here for the Swans. Steen towards the pocket. 2-on-1. It's Aaron's cutting it off. Bennett's floats the kick. Made life difficult for Izzy Grant. Bennett's there to provide some support. Managed to stand up through the tackle. Good core strength. Popped a handball. Fitzgerald by boot towards half forward. Floating kick. Past Kutnecht. Edmonds handball. Woodley had to reach for it just ever so slightly. Edmonds goes back again. Wins the football. And a third time. Can't get an effective handball to release to the outside. Umpire comes in as we head to Nat.
Ali Morfitt in tears on the bench. She's just had some painkillers, but really struggling with that right foot. So she's had hot spots. That's what she's missed the last couple of weeks, where she's managing that in her foot. 2 hot spots, one on her second metatarsal and one on her fifth. So I'll keep you updated if she does come back onto the ground. And if indeed it's the same foot, Jace.
Yeah, thanks, Nat. Await that diagnosis. Smith. Oh, lovely step, Gorham. Beautiful dummy. Kick not quite up to the same standard though, and it's picked off again by Heads. Under 6.5 to play in the third. Hurley, so prominent early, her 13th touch. Hausegger calls for it and will receive. Dogs in good position here, going player on player. Hausegger again, they take that bold kick. That's a push. Their ball movement tonight, it's obviously an instruction from Scott Gowans to pull the trigger on the inside kick. They've been really brave.
Yeah, and they need to be. I think at the moment, we're sort of seeing it being a bit of an arm wrestle. You've got to sort of be brave, try to open up the game.
Hurley's kick, it'll get over the back. Maybe a chance here for Grundon. Cooper was there as well, a speedster. Another great moment for Bennett. She's going to have to go again. She's outnumbered. Steen's there. Grundon waiting to see if it'll spill. Well done, Elle Bennett.
Sydney are looking dangerous once they get in. They sort of attack that last line. At the moment, though, Doggies are working so hard to get back and defend, as we just saw there by Elle Bennett. It's just getting a toe to it to get it out of the danger zone.
Emotional Ali Morfitt on the bench. We'll go to Nat in a moment. Riding the bump there was Whelan. She goes to ground. Nat.
Yeah, huge blow for the Sydney Swans, with All-Australian ruck Ali Morfitt ruled out of the game with that sore foot. I'm still waiting on confirmation whether it's the same foot that she has those hotspot issues in.
Thank you, Nat. Georgia Stathis and Edmonds and Berry combine almost for Woodley, but now McAvoy's in there, put some pressure on. She drew a crowd, but that provided some options. Kick missed Shepherd though. Page comes back and lays a tackle on Carruthers. And the Swans ratcheting up the front half pressure now with under 5 to play in the third. They trail by 3 points. It's been a grind in this third quarter. Edmonds again gets the tap. Bennett's to run onto it under pressure from Hurley. Shepherd versus Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald to Berry. Couldn't find her boot. Tries to win it on the ground. Hamilton feeds the handball through. McAvoy. Kick goes back. She's got some options. O'Sullivan had to be quick. Good pressure. Hartwig laid a couple of tackles. Gardner. And the numbers win out for the Swans. Her kick to the middle of the ground is marked by Sergeant Wilson. Try to move it quickly again. Gardner turned away from the traffic, and that's beautiful delivery to half forward. Handball just in front of Vale. She set sail for goal. And the Lions kicks her first goal in AFLW. Lovely finish, Eliza Vale. Her teammates get around her now. And the Swans are back in front.
You see the dam all sort of crash there, Jace. We've seen Sydney be dangerous in the last few little plays. Dogs have held on, they've sort of kept them out, but yet just then Sydney too good. They've finally got that goal that they've been pushing for this quarter. Again, momentum shifts are so important, but it's been an absolute arm wrestle this quarter.
Great moment for Eliza Vale. Been playing Oz kick since she was 5 years of age. Came through Melbourne Uni, the Calder Cannons and the Bulldogs, where she was a VFLW best and fairest, so knows this ground well. Hurley's kick inside 50, big pack of players. Get the feeling the Swans are surging right now. Kennedy, critical moments. Cooper, Dogs need to shut this down. Swans just surging it forward. Kennedy, dragged down. Privatelli. And eventually the free kick is paid. The Dogs hanging on by their fingernails.
They are, JC. Again, desperate play there, but have kept them in it.
Wilcox. Goes short to Goodnecht. A goal apiece in this third term, and it's 50. And given the Dogs have been pinned in their back half for the last 4 or 5 minutes, that's a big 50.
Yeah, they'd be very grateful for that 50 at the moment. Yeah, again, try to get it up there and put a little bit of pressure back on the Swans.
It's really been that sort of game, hasn't it? Get it in your front half, lock it in, and then just maintain the pressure until you get the shot. Fitzgerald back to Goodnecht. Off the left. It'll get over the back. Berry's lurking. She's got Shepherd to deal with. Gets rid of her. Looks back inside. Classy. Carruthers wastes no time. Hangs a bit of the kick though. Might still work at the back here for Jasmine Smith. She gets there first. Turns onto her right boot. Brings it inside. It's still there for the Dogs. Opportunity at the top of the square. Swans need a hero, and on that occasion it was Alice Mitchell. Just stood in the way, and it's rushed through for a minor score.
Again, just smart by Deanna Berry and the skill to sort of turn blindly again and then just bang that right to the top of the 50. Really, really clever stuff by Deanna Berry.
Alan Heads goes short. Finds Sophia Hurley. And 16th touch. Laura Gardner's had 25.
I noticed that, Jay. So I don't know exactly where she's getting those touches right now, but definitely something that the Bulldogs have to consider if Sydney keep getting on top here.
Paige Shepherd just racks them up, doesn't she, Laura Gardner?
Yeah, very, very good play, Laura.
So consistently good. Holly Cooper takes an important mark. Minute 30 to play in the third. Goal either way could really change things. It's been such an arm wrestle. Lexi Hamilton now to Bullis. Another one of these patient build-ups, Brie.
Yeah. Again, when it's been this contested, you do need time to just catch breath. There we go. They're getting speed on the ball now.
That was brilliant. It was a well-worked play. Hamilton to Bullis. They were going to take the advantage. Is that going to be 50? Because she's got knocked off the football, so she can't get back for the give and go. And that is going to create an opportunity inside 50 and a late scoring opportunity. Here's another look. So because Berry took her off, that's the rule. If you take someone out, potentially to receive the give and go, it's an automatic 50.
Yep. It's part of the game. We know it is. It's unfortunate again for the Bulldogs. They're putting a lot of work, and giving away 50s like this can be crucial in momentum swings. But we'll see here if they can put this away.
So Lexi Hamilton will go back and take the shot. Final minute of the term. 27th game tonight. She's kicked 1-1 in her career. Originally from Canberra, came through Belconnen and Queanbeyan. One game at Gold Coast in 2020, some time at North Melbourne, and then on to Sydney. For a handy little buffer on three-quarter time. Goes straight, but misses right.
I think almost about to go into that third quarter break and into the fourth quarter. Doggies would be pretty happy that it sailed wide there.
Just have to be tidy from here. Lauren Aaron says, no, we're going to assemble on one side of the ground. We're going to go long and we're going to go wide. We're going to take no risks. That wasn't the kick. Shepherd, Berylson. And she's harassed out of it. And Tam Hyatt can catch her breath.
Yeah, very lucky there. Yeah, again, I think the kick was to go along to the contest, but again, pressure by the Bulldogs to force that error there on Sydney.
So Pritchard will go long down the line. Take no chances with 20 seconds left. Beautifully read at the back by Hedge, but she let it slip through her fingers. Woodley can now come in and pressure. Berry wanted to try and sweep past and get on the end of it. Whistle's gone. Umpire's paid a dump. A non-officiating umpire. So it's going to be a Sydney free kick with 10 seconds left. Dogs just need to stay out here and avoid another 50. Some confusion as to whose free kick it was. It's coming back to Heads. Time for the Swans if they can get a long ball into the mark. Noah's kick floats wide. Berylson gets on the end of it. Siren's going to sound. And then she tried to step, so that's the end of the quarter. And the Dogs are jubilant because they managed to hang on there. It feels like a little mini win for them as the Swans were throwing everything at them late. At three-quarter time, this one hangs in the balance. Sydney, 5-2-32. Bulldogs, 4-5-29.
All right. Three-quarter time here. We have a ring-a-ding-ding game going on here, folks. It's the Swans by 3 points, 5-2-32, leading the Doggies 4-5-29. I'll tell you what, we had a few lead changes in that quarter. Of course, the Swans went in with the lead, then the Dogs took it back, then the Swans took the lead back, then the Dogs got the lead back, and finally the Swannies got the lead back again. They lead by 3 points. This is anyone's game. It's up for grabs. If we have a look at the graph here, right up, even on the first quarter, the Dogs were in front, the Swans, then the Dogs, then the Swans. As I said, Dog, Swans, everything like that. So it could up and down, ebb and flow. Who's going to win this game? Don't forget, throw your vote in, folks. Who you think is going to win this game, Sydney or the Doggies? You can vote up the top if you want. Don't forget, folks, while you're there, hit that like for me. Always helps out the channel. Appreciate that. And just another reminder, tomorrow we've got the big AFL Men's Grand Final happening, all coming live to you from about 2 p.m. Melbourne time tomorrow. That's 30 minutes prior to the game, with the kickoff, the bounce at 2:30, where Sydney will take on the Brisbane Lions. So that is what's happening tomorrow. Only one game tomorrow, and that is it. That's the one we're covering, the big AFL Grand Final. Let's have a quick look at the player stats before we head back to the ground. Laura Gardner there, extending her lead on the disposal count on the ground. She's got, look at that, she's well clear on the next one. 25, she has 14 kicks, 11 handballs, 2 marks, 7 tackles. She is having a great game there for the Swans. Next best is 17 with Sophie. Best for the Doggies, Jessica Fitzgerald there with 15. As we roll on down, we look at your favourite player and their stats. There we go. It all looks pretty even throughout the rest of the players. I tell you what, folks, it's a cracker game. I still don't know who's going to win this game. I'm still undecided. Some part of me thinks, you know what, the Dogs are going to get up here. The Dogs will come from behind this 3-point margin and get up and win. There are the goal scorers. Rebecca Privatelli from the Swans, the only multiple goal scorer there with 2 goals. Everyone else kicks singles. That's Vale, Morford and Hurley there for the Swans. And of course for the Doggies, all single goal scorers. Weston, Turner, Hartwig, Berry, Bennett, They are your goal scorers for the game so far. Let's just have a little bit of a look at the live ladder. And if the Swans end up winning, let me actually turn that off for the moment. The Swans, prior to tonight, they're sitting 10th on the ladder. Played 2 wins, 2 losses. And the Western Bulldogs down here, 5 they've played. They've had 1 victory and 4 losses. If we turn the live ladder on now, Sydney Swans will jump up into 9th position, 80.8%, only 1.5% behind the Eagles in 8th spot. So if Sydney Swans can probably extend this by maybe 4 or 5 goals, they may be able to jump the West Coast Eagles if the game stays as it is and the Sydney Swans win the game. Here we go. All right, back to the score. We are only moments away, folks, before we get back to the ground and the commentators take over, and they will take us into the final quarter. But it's an exciting game here. Who's going to win? That's the question. It's the Swans by 3 points. Here we go, back down to the ground.
Oval. Good contest between these, and both have been good enough to wrestle it back from the other team. What Scott Gowan's got up his sleeve for the last quarter. Here he is with Nat.
Scott, it's been an absolute arm wrestle. What was the message to the players in that last huddle?
Yeah, exactly that. It's very dewy and slippery out here, so the skills aren't great, but it's just to keep at it. Our pressure's been really good. Bulldogs' pressure's been good, in fairness to them as well, so it really is just going to be an arm wrestle.
Ali Morfitt, devastated on the bench. She's been in tears. Can you give us an update? I know it's her foot. She's had hotspot issues as well. Just trodden on it. It's unlucky, isn't it?
Yeah, so we don't know. We're hoping it's nothing more than a trot on. But with where she's come from and where the season's at, we're not going to take any risks. So we just put her ice out for the rest of the game.
All right, fingers crossed it's not too serious. Best of luck in the last quarter.
Thank you.
Thanks to Scotty Gowans. Spent some time with Scotty at Collingwood, of course. He's done a wonderful job, firstly, North Melbourne, then Collingwood, and now with the Swans.
Oh, absolutely love Scotty. He had me in the midfield at Collingwood and also at Carlton, actually, when I was playing in the back line there. So, love Scotty. Really great coach, really good guy, and he's great at building relationships with his players.
Our hostile and strong moment. First goal in AFLW for Eliza Vale. It's on the end of some great work. Hamilton gave it off. Vale slotted the goal and put the Swans back in front as we get set for final quarter action. Sydney by 3 points on a glorious Friday night in Melbourne. Gardner again, the engine starter. Got it to Kennedy. Nice delivery to Berylson. Always on the move. Nice delivery inside 50. It'll spill to the back. Grundon. Can she get the handball away? Cooper kept it moving. Pritchard. Nice smother by Steen. Wins it back. Bounces it to a dangerous position. Berry gets good purchase on that kick and clears the zone. The Swans are set up well to block. In fact, it's going to be a mark to Hamilton, but it's going to be reversed for the block to Grigg.
Really aggressive start by both teams at the stoppage there, sort of willing to go, not really head-to-head, start on the opposite sides of the stoppage and roll the dice a little bit.
Towards the wing, ball hit towards the line. Western Turner, she keep it alive. Fitzgerald, it's still there. Swans win it, well played. Mitchell, tapped on by Hamilton to Hamilton. From Lexi to Cynthia. Berry hunts the football. Back towards the middle of the ground. Over the head of Hausegger and Kutnecht. Gets to the back for Western Turner. She'll look up. One-on-one inside 50. Hartwig just needs the bounce. Doesn't get it. She and Heads collide. Wilcox arrives. Suckers it forward. Heads is going to have to turn and go again. Wilcox grabs her. Takes her to the deck. Duck tackle. Heads, 2 massive defensive efforts, saves the day for Sydney.
Couldn't have got a more aggressive bounce either there, Jay. So football, this oval-shaped ball sometimes throws some things out.
Mitchell. The Swans managed to protect their lead, just. Back to the square for Heads. Bold kick up the middle. A fumble from Gardner, spun into Western Turner. Gone this time. Again, they were brave. They took the kick up the middle of the ground, but this time the Dogs were well set up. And it's a big moment for the #1 draft pick, Christy Lee Weston Turner. We get a look at her range here from about 35.
Just about to say that, Jace. Interested to see if she's got the leg on her here, but yeah, hopefully, I mean, doggies need to set up to make sure if that falls short, they can compete there.
Athletic X-Factor, forward mid-type, think Alyssa Bannon. Explosive speed, strong kick, great in the air. Just how strong is this kick? Big moment for the youngster. No problem at all with the distance, but pushed it right. 2-point game. Heads up the middle. Gorham bumped off it, strong work, but illegally against Sophia Hurley. Maggie Gorham can punch the Dogs back inside 50 again as they look to maintain the pressure. Searching for the lead. Gorham sets it up. Gets past McAvoy. Edmonds, Smith throws a boot at it. It's going to pitch and go through for a minor score.
Doggies looking dangerous. I know Jason mentioned them being brave going for the middle, but Sydney need to be careful here from their back half. I wouldn't be trying to bite off too much more than I can chew. I prefer to see them play a safer kicks in this back D50 and then get brave.
That's what they do there, Bree. Rather than go straight up the middle, they take the short option to Gardner. The Dogs are pressing up, putting some pressure on every kick. So Gardner will go long and wide. Berylton comes out to meet it. Fitzgerald in there as well. Pounces on the football. Flips a handball. Quick kick inside 50. Well done, Ella Heads again. We've spoken about her aerial ability behind the football. Saw it there. McAvoy may have just lost it in the lights for a moment. Now they look to generate some run. Gorham got in there and forced a contest. Ball bounces towards the line. Bullis and Smith come together. Wilcox in there. Flips it through her legs like an NFL centre. Ball up. Edmonds in the ruck against Hamilton with Ali Morfitt off the ground after having her foot trodden on in that third term. That will be assessed. Georgia Borg has a knee injury that will be assessed tomorrow as well. So thoughts with both those players, wishing them all the best for some good news. Edmonds got the hands free. Did some good ruck work tonight. Gardner drew a crowd, had support though. Went to O'Sullivan. Hamilton had to be quick. It was Cynthia to Alexi once again. Searching kick down the line. Grundon turns. Georgia Stathis gets it out of bounds.
Yep, it's well done again by Georgia Stathis, just to take it over for him, let him reset. At the moment, again, bit of an arm wrestle. We had Bulldogs start the quarter well there, but it looks like it's turning into that arm wrestle again.
It's Tam Hyatt, first-year coach at the Dogs, watching on. The side's been in this contest right from the start. Umpire's going to call for another throw in, that one landing a little short. Bucks have sat back a long way tonight.
You can see both teams at the moment matched up right across the ground. There's one-on-ones everywhere at the moment, so no spare players. Doggies were flooding back earlier. That's not happening right now.
Edmonds trying to get it to Pritchard. Bounce eluded she and Whelan. Carruthers got good strong work from Gardner, who's taken down. Pritchard got it. 13 touch for Izzy Pritchard. Fitzgerald leads for the Dogs with 16. Gardner's had 28 for Sydney. Ella Heads has had 20 behind the football for the Swans. Pritchard gets good distance on the kick. It'll get to the back. McAvoy beats Smith there. Floats a handball. Sets a task for Eliza Vale. She was up to it, but Kennedy can't wriggle free. Going to find it was Shepherd. There's Vale. Look out, McAvoy. Just got the kick away as Weston Turner's tackle came and it affected the kick, which only made it as far as Crothers. Dogs have got the forward press on once again. Dom goes for distance. McAvoy in the middle of that pack takes another important grab, but the Swans at the moment can't find the exit.
Yeah, again, it's just good defensive work by the Doggies. They seem to go one-on-one across the ground, like I said. At the moment, it looks very evenly matched right across the ground.
Mitchell to Hauseger. She spears it towards the wing. One-on-one contest there. Well done, Bennett's to Goran. Spirals it, tumbles it inside 50. An awkward one to mark. Kavala stayed down. Can't escape the tackle from Julie O'Sullivan. Edmonds the tap. Pritchard the gather. And Shepherd flips to the outside for Steen. Dogs hunting in numbers here. Fitzgerald managed to flip it. Kick inside 50. Goodneck came thundering out. Pritchard in there again. She's taken down. Neither side able to wriggle free right now. There's Alice Edmonds. Just copped a finger in the eye there, inadvertently. 1 point game as we approach the 9-minute mark. Kicking in danger, going the way of the Swans. Some much needed relief from their own D50. They have not been able to get into their front half, right?
Yeah, it's living in the doggies' front half right now. I think, again, there can be some composed play, but there's going to be times where Swans are going to have to get some speed on the ball here and not allow the dogs to sort of get back and set up defensively.
So Hamilton has it. The question then becomes, who's the player to pull the trigger? That's not the option. It's cut off. Bennett's. Ugly kick inside 50. Gave it straight back to Hausegger. Swans need to hit a target again. Hurley. Well gathered in by Steen. Didn't go the required distance. Now she's under some pressure. She's hunted down. Play on the call. Hurley. And they work it to Gardner. And they are living on the edge right now, the Swans. Gardner goes short as we head to Nat.
Yeah, Amy Whelan's currently off the ground with the blood rule. They're just cleaning up her face a little bit and getting her a new Guernsey to pop on. Obviously, the Swans already down one on the bench with Ali Morford out of the game.
Thanks, Nat. Once again, the Dogs have managed to turn it over. Edmonds this time. They can't find a way through. They keep peppering away inside 50, though. Goodneck to try and force a contest. This Sydney defence is standing up magnificently. Alice Mitchell. So they're defending really well behind the ball, Brie, but they just can't connect with the midfield to get it out of there.
Yeah, again, at the moment, it's living in the doggies' front half. I think they're going to look to switch it now, which might be the go. Try and move the defence a little bit. In saying that, they are holding a 1 point lead, so no risky kicks here.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? How bold can you be to try and wriggle out of your back half? At the same time, you just can't afford to turn it over and provide a shot at goal for the other team. It might cost you the lead in the game. McAvoy, and that's not the option. The pressure continues to build, and those little kicks become harder and harder, and that ball starts to feel like a brick.
They do. I mean, not characteristic of Roos there. She's usually very crafty with the ball.
Woodley's kick finds Goodneck. 1 at 50. Umpire says, no, get up. So Britt Goodneck has kicked 5 goals, 2 in her 28 AFLW games. This to tie it up and give the Dogs the lead. To kick a goal this season. Goodneck. One of the biggest kicks in her career so far. And she absolutely nails it. Dogs lead. What a kick under pressure from Britt Goodneck. Went back and drilled it. And the Dogs are back in front with just over 6 to play. Swans fans realising they need some time in their front half. The Doggies just have not let them off the hook for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, we saw there, Jason. Sydney went under the pump time and time again there. They stood tall for about 5 minutes straight there, but then the dam wall usually breaks, and that's what's just happened there. We saw Whitten take that incredible mark, a very strong mark, and then go back and stood up for a team there.
Wonderful goal as we head back to Nat.
Amy Whelan getting ready to come back on for the Swans, but you will notice, Jace, that she'll be wearing the number 34, not 22. She's had to do a jumper swap. Obviously, she was a late in tonight after Montana Ham pulled out of the game late.
Goodneck launches long. Has she got 2? Not quite. Desperate scrambling lunge. Well done.
A How good would that have
by
been?
Alice Mitchell.
Snagged that one. Really amazing.
Oh, another metre. Maybe not even. That one bounces off the chest of Hamilton. Could the time be now for the Dogs? Wilcox, wonderful tackle. Lisa Steen might be a game saver. Wilcox was headed goalward. 5.5 to play. Dogs lead it by a straight kick. Gorham, Goodnecht having a great couple of minutes. She could launch the barrel from here. She's having such a good time of it. Sets it up instead. It gets over the back. Hamilton couldn't find it. Fitzgerald did. And McAvoy saves the day.
Yeah, she's got to go here.
She's going to have to come back by late. Oh, no, she's run. Oh, she's gone one side of the point post and then run around the goal post, which means it's automatically a point.
Right.
You've got to bring it back in the same entrance that she took the mark. So she marked it and then ran around the post and came around the other side, automatically a point, which is a massive point. It makes it a 7-point game.
I don't think I ever knew that rule, Jay, so I've learnt one today.
McAvoy's long kick. And now the Dogs sit on a 7-point lead. Ahrens has it. Gee, that 1 point makes such a difference to how the Dogs can play this from here. Ahrens' kick to a pack. Dogs are looking for the knockout blow here. Kennedy. Swans want to transition it quickly the other way. Put some pressure back on the Doggies. Good scrap from Hausegger. Hamilton. Berry sweeps onto it. Gardner sweats on her. Kennedy commits the body as she always does.
You can see the Doggies right now, they're keeping their numbers behind the ball, and rightly so. They've got a lead to protect.
So she steps around the post?
Yeah, right. Yep.
That's what made it a 7-point game. Goodnecht. Quick kick. Weston Turner. She can take her 30 seconds, takes a deep, deep breath, and can go back and make this a 13-point game. Well played, Jess Fitzgerald.
Well, we know she's got the range here, Jace. We just saw her kick one from this sort of area before, so she can get a bit more straight. She's got the range.
So Weston Turner. It's all about accuracy from here. She's 25 out for a 13-point lead, and she shanked it. Misses the lot. So 3:19 for the Swans. The time is now. They've got to find a way out of the back half. Haven't been able to do it for the last 10 minutes. How brave are they going to be? McAvoy chips it short. Hamilton, they've got to execute their skills as well. Kicks have got to hit their targets and marks need to be taken. Ball spills. Bullis in there scrapping. Taken down by Kimber. It's about precision and execution from here for Sydney.
That's right. Precision and execution by them, but Doggies as well. They're sitting that defence. They're sitting quite defensively at the moment. Again, rightly so. But they've got to make sure that they use up their numbers and not blast away.
Ali Blackburn chews the nails. Naomi Ferris there as well. Newell Aloifi. And there's Ali rallying the troops, rallying the fans. Get behind the team, she's saying.
Love the passion. So good.
2:20 to play. Dogs on the verge of back-to-back wins. Swans aren't done yet. They've been brave all night. Gardner turned back into traffic. Goes again, wins it. Pritchard takes her high. So this is the opportunity. They've got to go now. They've got to spread the field. Vale. Sergeant Wilson got collected by Grigg. Umpire calls for it. Was touched off the boot. But they've moved it forward 50 metres. There's 60 from goal, the Swans. Less than 2 minutes to play. Berry just thunders into Kennedy.
Bulldogs have a spare behind the ball right now. They actually got 2 spares behind the ball right now. So Sydney win this. They need to take this offline a little bit. If they kick it straight, they're kicking it to Doggies' numbers.
Head right in the jaw there. Tammy Kennedy's tough. Gardner, here we go. Sergeant Wilson. Can Privatelli get on the end of it? Have they got a rover at the back? Grant's taken down. Great pressure from the Swans. They're just surging it forward here. Ahrens would be happy with the line. She's not going to be able to get it. Flips it. Wilcox can clear with 80 seconds left. Through Hartwig. Smith at the back. Dogs just need a mark now. Greek. Play on the call. Swans want to keep it moving. We'll get that chance. Great tackle. Woodley runs down Hamilton, and that could be the game.
really great pressure. The doggies need to just try and keep it skinny here. Smith will sort of look to drive her legs corridor then. They don't really need to do that at this point.
Woodley will go long down the line. She could have actually probably taken an option behind her. That's a great contested grab from Edmonds.
Yeah, it's a good call, Jace. They need to try and kill the clock here. I reckon Alice goes straight backwards here if I was her.
She could just go straight back to Georgia Stathis, who's just coming into your picture now. Instead, Alice will take the territory. Kick to a pack. Big fly over the top came from Hartwig. Swans have got numbers at the back. They've only got 30 seconds to do something with it. Wilcox looks around at the bench and says, yep, we're just going to go long and chew as much time as we can. And they're going to get the finish in style. Izzy Pritchard gets on the end of it. And we'll kick after the siren. And the Western Bulldogs post back-to-back wins. The Pops are starting to build on the new coach, Tam Hyatt. And they saluted the kennel for the first time since early 2022. Izzy Pritchard for the finishing touch. It's not going to get there, and it's not going to matter. Dogs win. Friday night contest. Dogs led early by a goal at quarter time. Swans came out the second term and kicked 3 in a hurry and looked absolutely outstanding. Dogs did a great job to get the momentum back. It was Sydney by 4 points at the half, Sydney by 3 points at three-quarter time. But in the end, Bree, Bulldogs 1-4 to no score in that final term. They did an incredible job winning it at the source once Ali Morfitt went off the ground. And in the final term, inside 50s, 12-2.
Yeah, wow, yeah. I mean, we touched on it during the quarter. The amount of time that doggies had it in their front half in that quarter was unbelievable. And Sydney tried to hold on, but again, eventually, like I said, teams will crack, and it happened. And Bulldogs were clinical with their finishing.
Great win for the Dogs. They come from behind to post back-to-back wins and win here at the Kennel, Nat, for the first time since early 2022.
It has been a while since the Dogs have won here at home. Britt, I want you to take me through what is going through your mind when you kicked that goal, because there was a lot of pressure riding on your shoulders.
Yeah, I missed that one earlier in the game, so I was just like, I need to make it up here. And tight angle, but I just stuck to my process, did my routine, and mattered when it counted.
Amazing, Dee. This team just seems to be building in confidence week to week. A second win in a row. And that's off the back another good half against the Brisbane Lions a couple of weeks ago as well. How have you seen it?
Yeah, I just think we're building really well, like you said, and these girls are just phenomenal. Like, they're putting in the work on the field, and obviously we haven't trained too much, so it's just been game after game, and I think it's worked for us because we've just put the pressure on and made sure that we can stick out games. I think they Sydney come at us, but the resilience in this team is something I'm so proud of. I think at halftime we reset and we come out and we played a really strong second half.
And Britt, what have you made of the new skipper?
Oh, I love Dee, and getting her to lead this team, I just think she was ready for that step up, and look at her, she's flying now.
And a new coach, of course. Dee, just talk to me about the impact that Tam Hyatt is having on this group, because it takes a while, doesn't it, for a new game plan to stick?
Yeah, exactly. I think Tam's just rallied behind us and built some really strong relationships, which has held us in good stead in these moments where we need to grit together. And I think, yeah, she's a phenomenal person, and I can't speak any highly of her.
Well, congratulations, ladies. Go and enjoy this win and celebrate a long weekend.
Yes, let's go the Dogs!
Dogs get to sing the song in front of their faithful at home for the first time in more than 2 years. We'll be back with that next.
All right, there we go, folks. Can you believe it? The underdogs, the Dogs, they got up. Of course, the Sydney Swans came into this game favourite. The Doggies long odds to win this match, but they did it fantastic. I tell you what, they were good all night, the Dogs. I'll give you credit where credit is due. They were good. They were good. You know, Sydney pressed as well, but the defence of the Dogs was super good, as were the defence of Sydney. Sydney unable to score in that final term. The Bulldogs putting on 1-4, and that was enough to get them over the line by 7 points tonight. Look at those votes. We had the vote. 34 votes in tonight. Who was going to win this game? 61% said the Swannies. They nearly got it right, but not quite right enough. That's all right, folks. You know why? Because tomorrow, AFL Grand Final men's team, Sydney Swans v Brisbane. You can vote again there. Who you think's going to win? We should have StreamYard. There we go. I use StreamYards. I do use StreamYard sometimes in some of my lives, but yeah, not the footy, not the footy. I like to just do the footy vertically as is. That way, you know, it gets out to the short shelf, etc. more. So when people are scrolling, if they want to stop in and have a look at the football, you know, it could be anyone around the world. You know, that gives them an opportunity as well. So that's why I do vertical live on here. Yeah, if it's, you know, if it's vision that you could show, then that would definitely be the way to go. But yeah, unfortunately, we can't show the vision. So this is the best way that I've found. There you go. So we're just waiting for the Bulldogs to come back. They'll sing their song. But you can see what a good game it was. The game ebbed and flowed. You can see the Bulldogs led here. Then the Swans took over. Then the Bulldogs took over again. The Swans held the lead through that second quarter. The Bulldogs regained the lead in the third before the Swannies took it back. The Swannies tried to hang on as much as they could, but the Bulldogs just had too much fight in them at the end. And the Dogs ended up running away 7-point victors in this game tonight. So that was sensational. There we go. You know what, Harvey, I've actually even thought about doing the Grand Prix, the Formula One Grand Prix. But I can't find anything that sort of like this that actually shows the map of the racetrack as the cars are going around, because it's great. The call of the Formula One Grand Prix is pretty good. I do like watching the Grand Prix as well. If I could find something, you never know, I might even put the Grand Prix on, which would be all right. But yeah, just the footy at the moment. And of course, the final men's game tomorrow. But luckily enough, we've still got probably about 8 weeks left, 6-8 weeks left of the AFLW, which is still good. And then it gets into cricket season. Then I can have a rest from doing all these lives of the football until we start again next year, when hopefully our teams will be up and running again. Hopefully we'll give them a good account next year as well. But that being said, you know, the players do need a rest occasionally, so that's all right. But we're just going to wait. And we'll just wait for the girls to come back on. And you'll hear the girls singing the Bulldogs theme song. Well, won't be too far away, folks.
Yeah.
Well, Bree, what's the secret ingredient of winning? Well, it's winning, isn't it? The more you do it, the more you win, and the more you win, the more confidence you get. That helps you win again the next week, and the Dogs have put back-to-back wins together tonight.
100%, Jason. It builds disbelief, and you can see in this group after tonight, you can see there's almost a bit of a belief there. But yeah, no, really impressive stuff. Like I said, pressure was up from Bulldogs and the Swans, and we saw a real arm wrestle in that game. But yeah, Doggies walk away with the win.
So much footy coming up this weekend. Of course, AFL Grand Final day tomorrow. Then a festival of AFLW footy continues with 4 games coming up on Sunday, including a couple of really looking forward to. North and Richmond should be revealing down in Launceston. GWS play West Coast. Brisbane and Adelaide Breeze always a game to watch.
Can't wait to see that clash. Yeah, 2 massive teams in the AFLW go head-to-head.
And then Port Adelaide and Carlton to finish it off. Tickets available for all those games as week 5 of AFLW continues. And that wraps up our coverage tonight from the Whitten Oval. Congratulations to the Western Bulldogs. They've posted back-to-back wins and saluted at home at the Kennel for the first time since early 2022. On behalf of Bree Davey, Nat Edwards, our entire production team, thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy what promises to be a fantastic 2024 AFL Grand Final day tomorrow. We'll see you again on Sunday as AFL season 2024 continues.
All right, folks, that's it. That is the end of today's coverage. I just want to thank everyone for coming in. I hope everyone enjoyed the coverage. Hope your team got up and saluted and had a win today, no matter who your team was. So just another fantastic day of AFLW football action here. And we'll do it all again on Sunday for the AFLW football. But of course, tomorrow, folks, don't forget, come in, come along, come and join us as we start our live stream tomorrow at 2 p.m. Melbourne time for a 2:30 bounce of the biggest sporting event in Australia. And of course, that is the men's AFL Grand Final here at the MCG in Melbourne. And tomorrow, it's the Sydney Swans taking on the Brisbane Lions. Who's going to win? Well, you just have to come on over and see. All right, folks, good on you, Ryan. Cheers, brother. Ciao for now. Yeah, we'll see you in the next live. Absolutely. Thanks, Harvey, and everybody else. Thanks, Sniper, Hunky, Dweller, King, Isaac, everyone. That's exactly right. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you at 2 p.m. Melbourne time.